Everyone, we're holding a special meeting here, the town board. We do have a quorum present, myself, Councilman Welsh and Councilman Harrington. This is to address a special request by the state legislature for additional detail on the cell phone tower resolution that we have processed here several times at this point. We'll open the meeting with the pledge to the flag, actually a call to order, and pledge to the flag, please. Flag, United States of America, to the republic, which stands one nation, under God. And again, apologize for the short notice on this, but we are under a deadline with the state legislature. I'll go ahead and read the resolution. It is, what number are we up to?
47.
47. Is that where we're at?
I'll have to look.
Okay,
I believe it's
we'll put a number on when we conclude here. We believe it's 47. It's a resolution authorizing home rule request to authorize the town of Union Vale to alienate and discontinue use of certain parklands. Whereas the resolution number 23 of 2025 adopted by the town of Unionville Town Board on March 19th, 2025, the town board authorized the submission of a home rule request to authorize the town of Unionville to alienate and discontinue use of certain parklands. And whereas the request was forwarded to the New York State Assembly and the New York State Senate, and whereas the New York State Legislature amended the language of the bills and provided new bill numbers, specifically Assembly Bill number A 5851-B and Senate Bill S 5224-B. And whereas the resolution number 40 of 2025 of Unionville Town Board on May 7th, 2025, the town board authorized the submission of home rule request containing amended Assembly and Senate bills. And whereas requests with the amended bills have been forwarded to the New York State Assembly and New York State Senate. And whereas, well, actually, I did read that number wrong. Whereas the New York State Legislature further amended some of the language to include an access driveway as depicted on the site plan, a copy of which has been annexed here too, and provided new bill numbers, specifically Assembly Bill number A-5851-B and Senate Bill number S-5224-B. And whereas the town board of Town of Unionville believes that leasing space on town lands for telecommunications purposes would enhance the general prosperity and economic welfare of the residents of the town of Unionville. And whereas the town desires to alienate and discontinue the use of certain parklands and lease at fair market value to Homeland Towers, LLC, for a term not to exceed 30 years for the purpose of operating a radio transmission tower facility. And whereas the lands to be alienated consist of approximately 0.121 acre parcel to be leased for the town placement of an approximate 0.129 acre parcel for an easement to provide access to the tower and the access driveway, which are described in detail in the next here too and made a part hereof. And whereas pursuant to Assembly Bill A 5851-B and Senate Bill S 5224-B, the proposed legislation has been submitted to the New York State Legislature for the purposes of adopting and enabling legislation to permit the town of Unionville to alienate and discontinue the use of certain parklands and lease at fair market value to Homeland Towers, LLC, for a term not to exceed 30 years for the purpose of operating a radio transmission tower facility. And whereas the revenues generated from said leasing would be used solely for the acquisition of new parklands and towards capital improvements to existing parkland and recreational facilities. Now, therefore, be it resolved as follows. The recitations above set forth are incorporated in this resolution as a fully set forth and adopted herein. The town board of the town of Unionville hereby issues this home rule request effective June 10th, 2025 in support and passage of Assembly Bill A 5851-B and Senate Bill S 5224-B. The town clerk is hereby authorized to transmit a home rule request form and certified copy of this resolution to the Home Rule Council of the New York State Legislature, requesting the introduction and adoption of the aforementioned bills. A second on that, please.
I will second.
Okay. Further explanation, the legislature requested further detail on the driveway going into the cell tower facility. And that's why we needed to do this. It was similar to the last amendment they requested.
Okay.
Any questions on it?
No, but we should note that in the third paragraph, the original bills were A 5851-A.
Right.
And Senate bill was S 5224-A.
Right. That was the first amended bill.
Correct.
Okay, roll call vote.
Councilman Harrington,
Yes.
Councilman Welsh.
Yes.
Supervisor Frazier.
Aye.
Councilman McGibney and Councilman Derlin are absent.
Okay. Resolution passes. We will get this up to the state legislature ASAP, get it certified, and hopefully this is the last time. Motion to adjourn.
So
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thanks, folks. And again, so sorry for the last minute run on this.
that's all right. You're caught in the middle.